Samantha Blake, and the verses I'm covering today are Romans 13 verses 1 to 7, and in particular I'm going to focus on verses 1 and 2, which say, "Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment." So I believe what these verses are saying is that God is the only and ultimate authority, and he is telling us to submit to government laws, even if the government itself is not godly in their administration, because regardless of this is something he has ordained, and so works through this. So in some respects, when you have an ungodly authority, you can liken it to the parable of the sower, where the good crop sits alongside the weeds. We, as people of God, aren't to become a weed by following that authority over and above God's, for example, where God's rules directly contradict government authority. As the verse states, he is the only authority. However, we are to grow alongside the weeds, and this means following other rules and laws which can seem arbitrary, time-consuming, unnecessary, arduous, costly, and quite frankly, not the way you think it should be done. However, through following such rules, I believe we can begin to see the peace and order that God desires, and are ultimately working in obedience to his will, not merely or really just to earthly authority. So whilst we in the UK may not be overtly oppressive government, as an authority, we do have a lot of legislation, which you might term small rules. And Romans 5 states that the law came to increase sin. So perhaps, whilst our government rules are not the same as the Old Testament law, having to keep rules in itself can lead to us to fall into a tussle with ourselves, the trap of, why should I do this, in my mind, and actions and complaining, not another rule. But as we realise and remember, we are being subject overall to God, not the authority, a good and just God who we want to please. This motivates us and moves us towards him, away from his judgment and to his approval. So my prayer, next time you or I struggle with this type of issue, we will first remember to seek our all-loving God, to submit to him the matter that's in hand. Thank you.